When I first began this YouTube channel back in September, my first 2 or 3 videos were about researching a Shopify store to create my own online shop so that I could use that as a case study to demonstrate the kind of work I do for my SEO clients. So my name's Adam, I'm a SEO consultant, have been for about a decade or so, and I specialise in e-commerce. And for fairly obvious reasons, I'm not allowed to share the back end of the websites I work on for my clients. So I've always wanted to have my own website, my own e-commerce website to work on so that I can share that as an example. And it also gives me a much better understanding of how it feels to be the owner of an e-commerce store. The problem, well, not a problem at all. What actually happened was I recorded 3 videos. I settled on a niche that I was going to pursue. And then somebody that I met in different circumstances a couple of years ago reached out to me and said that they had a Shopify store that they were looking to dispose of. Basically, it didn't fit in with their business model anymore. And so they said, would I be interested? Well, yes, on the face of it. And then they told me that the store was selling space posters, and I was definitely interested. And for those of you who are new to the channel, which is everybody in the whole world except for about 10 people, that's important to me because I actually own a astronomy website, have done for about 10 years. It's called lovethenightsky.com. It's not e-commerce, but I do sell online courses through that store, but it makes most of its money through affiliate sales and advertising. So yeah, space posters, astronomy posters is a fabulous idea. So I've spent the last few weeks talking to my acquaintance about how to transfer the site. That all went through just before I went on holiday in October. And now I'm finally getting a little bit of time to start working on it in between doing client work. So I'm very pleased to introduce you to Apes in Space. This is a print-on-demand space poster website, e-commerce store, based on Shopify. Now, I've not shared this before on my YouTube channel, on this YouTube channel, but here's Love the Night Sky. This is my astronomy website aimed at helping new and amateur astronomers get better at the hobby. It's a hobby of mine. I've been doing it since I was 10, 11 years old. So, a long time, a big passion. And I've already connected this space art link here in the menu goes to Apes in Space. Now I'm fortunate that the age of Love the Night Sky and the work I've done on growing that has got that to a DR of 53, so it's quite an authoritative site. Apes in Space, however, has got a DR of 9, and a lot of that has come because I've connected my website to it. I think when I took it on it had a DR of about 2, something like that, so it's made a jump already. And what I thought would be useful to do is just have a quick conversation with you about the thoughts that have gone through my head since taking control of Apes in Space, about what I want to do with it and how I intend to grow it. And I'd like to bring you along on that journey with me. Now, it's not going to be a long video because I need this afternoon to crack on with making some changes. And until they become important ones, I don't propose on sharing every change I make on YouTube, but I do want to take you through some of the thinking that I've had since taking control of the site. Now, the first part of my activity has been to download data, so I've got information available to me as questions start to arise. So this is Screaming Frog Crawl. I don't propose to go through that. If you're at all interested in SEO, you'll know what that is. If you're not, basically Screaming Frog acts a little bit like a Google spider. It crawls the whole website and pulls out all the internal connections and all the tags and all the mapping and where there are any problems and highlights all of that. So that's what this is. Then I've pulled out a product list. So every product that's on the Apes in Space Shopify store and mapped across to Printify or Printful, I can't remember which one it is, but it's connected to those, just so I've got a starting list of the products that are on the site. And then I've had a look at the collections, which ones were on the site as I took control of it, so that I can monitor what's working and what's not and start thinking about how to improve those. And then finally, and perhaps most importantly, I've gone through the site, I've used it as a consumer, and I've started making a list of changes that I would like to make or things I would like to investigate. Now, I've blurred out some of them because they are not important for sharing in this format, but some of them are already done and some of them are fairly obvious. So I've linked Love the Night Sky to improve the DR of the site. I've changed the billing from euros to dollars. The person I bought it off was based in Europe. They were selling in euros. My focus is the US, so I'll be selling in dollars. But I have also set it up so that if you visit it from the UK, for example, it will display prices to you in pounds. I've added it to Uptime Robot. Uptime Robot is a tracker, a monitor of websites and make sure that they are live. And if they're not live for whatever reason, it will send me an email so I can look into it quickly. What I'm working on this afternoon when I finish recording this video is I'm going to change the theme. The person that sold it to me hasn't done anything with it since they set it up back in 2017, I think 2018. So I'm starting to think about how to modernise it, how to bring it more in line with other print-on-demand poster stores. And then things like 10% discount on a pop-up for an email address, build links. You know, I've got a large email list with Love the Night Sky and Black Friday's coming up. So if it feels financially viable, sending an email out to the thousands of people on my email list and saying if you buy a poster this weekend you can get a 10%, 15, 20% discount, then that will hopefully get some sales moving and get some reviews coming in. So gives it a little bit of momentum. And then there's another list of 20, 30 ideas of things that I need to change as and when I get time to do it. And just trying to sort those into a priority order, which ones will give me the best win for the least amount of effort, because I've only realistically got around a day a week that I can work on this. And then I've set up my standard SEO client tracking sheet. So I pull in Screaming Frog, all the data from Screaming Frog, all the data from Google Analytics, all the data from GA4 and Ahrefs in terms of backlinks. Then sort it all out into which are category pages, which are product pages, which are pages that have got no SEO value. And over time I shall start going through and attributing primary keywords and going through and looking at all the problems it's got and meta titles that need changing. You see there's meta descriptions missing here, some repetitive H1s, so all of that kind of thing, and I'll be working through that steadily. So I am not short of things to do with this site, and I can't wait to show you improvements over time. But for anyone that was interested as to why I began the e-commerce case study and then went very quiet on it, well, here's the reason. I have taken ownership of Apes in Space. This is going to be my case study. It's a print-on-demand e-commerce store based in Shopify. It doesn't rank for very much at all at the moment. I'm hoping to make it rank for a lot and to start generating some meaningful sales, even if they will probably be a long way from life-changing. I'm hoping I can demonstrate that actually it's not too difficult to start making sales when you know what you're doing from an SEO perspective. Right, that's it for this one. I hope you find it useful. I look forward to updating you with the changes I make in the coming weeks. Take care.